And six-time NBA champion, all-time points leader in the NBA, and a legend of the Los Angeles Lakers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, here with us now. Also a New York Times best-selling author in Philadelphia in support of newly minted Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. Kareem, thanks for being here.
Nice to be here.
First, with regard to your support of Hillary Clinton, why does she have it from you?
Well, I think Mrs. Clinton is the best person who has the experience and the knowledge to lead us forward. You know, we need to do a better job, especially in places where people are suffering. Our educational system and the lack of jobs really have held a whole lot of people back, and a lot of people are feeling it. So I think that she's the best person that will be able to, lead us out of that morass that we're stuck in, and hopefully lead us forward.
And so many people do now just see this with due respect to the Green and Libertarian parties as a binary choice, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. He is someone to whom you have called him essentially a terrorist. Why did you make those comments?
Well, I think that a lot of the things that he is advocating really are playing into the hands of the terrorists. Just the fact that he wants to discriminate against Muslims. This is what the people at ISIS are counting on for them to do some recruiting. And I think that that's pretty irresponsible on his part. Why is he doing that? As
a Muslim yourself, how does that rather divisive rhetoric land?
Well, it's kind of hard if you're an American and you're a patriotic American and you hear people saying that that's not a fact. That is a fact, and most American Muslims are peaceful and patriotic and trying to help in the effort against these terrorists that are making our lives so complicated.
And it's going to be a binary choice, and again, a historic one now as we see the first woman atop a major party's ticket. What do you make of the history, particularly as it comes on the heels of the first African-American U.S. president?
Well, I think what Hillary's doing is very much similar to what President Obama did, and I look back in my own history to Jackie Robinson. What he did, he was a trailblazer. He was the first one to integrate professional baseball, and he had a tough time of it because there was no template for him to follow. He had to do it on his own, and that's what Hillary's doing. But her instincts are great, and she wants to make it possible for all Americans to succeed and realize the American dream, and that's what it should be all about.
Is that what makes her then perhaps the right woman for this time?
I think she is the right woman for this time because she has all the experience and knows where all the pitfalls are. She knows where the holes in the roads are. She's had to deal with them, and we got to fill those holes in and make it safe for everybody.
We saw rancorous moments in Cleveland at the GOP convention. We've seen some impassioned moments here, if you will, as the supporters of Bernie Sanders have at times expressed their dissatisfaction with their representation. And it's something to which Bernie Sanders himself has referred to. This is the result of the democracy in which we live. Although we did see the Vermont senator be the one last night to move to nominate Hillary Clinton by acclamation. What do you make of all of this coming to a head here in Philadelphia and the talk of unity moving forward within the party?
Well, I think sometimes we want perfection, and we can't sacrifice something that's practical for something that's perfect when something that's perfect won't fit in. We can't get everybody's point of view expressed in one person. So we have to try to accommodate everybody. And the thing that I like about Hillary is the fact that she listens. So she's been listening to the Bernie Sanders supporters and trying to accommodate them because we need their support. And they deserve the respect and consideration of their point of view.
It is a very extreme time in the American social landscape right now. One of the real points of inflection last night was when we met the mothers of the movement, African-American mothers who have lost their children, largely their sons, to violence. A very tense time. And we saw a big group of Black Lives Matters take to the streets of Philadelphia in protests, again, of police brutality. I know both your father and grandfather were police officers. What do you make then of where we are and where we're headed?
Well, I think it's going to get better when we realize that if we can get both sides of this issue to talk to each other and to understand what the other side's problems are and what their issues are, then we're going to get past this, because police are here to help us and serve us. They're the glue that holds our society together. If you look in any society, when there's not an effective police force, the rule of law is not respected, and things go south. So, we have to give the police the support they deserve. We ask too much of them. That's a common thread throughout our whole country.
In what way?
Well, we want them to solve all the problems that we don't want to deal with, So the guy is having a tough time with his wife, and he's going to slap her around, and who's going to go? Not a social worker, not a psychiatrist, but they call the cops to deal with it. People that are mentally ill on the streets, they get disturbed, they're doing crazy stuff. Who's going to go deal with them? Not mental health professionals. They have the cops come in and deal with it. So, we ask too much of them. But they're always there for us. And, we have to find better ways to help them and make their jobs easier, and to make it possible for them to get their job done and to get home every night.
Why is Hillary Clinton's presidency then the place to get that done?
I think Hillary Clinton's presidency is the place to get that done, because she knows what the problem is and what the solution is. And the solution is not to vilify groups of people, not to vilify Mexican immigrants or Muslims or poor people. We have to help those people.
You mentioned Jackie Robinson. You yourself long used the platforms to speak to social issues and to be trailblazers and pioneers long before society really looked to catch up. I'm wondering, Michael Jordan penned a memo titled, in saying, "I can no longer stay silent with regard to community policing and what can be done." What do you think of the platform that exists for professional athletes right now, and perhaps how they could better use it?
I think professional athletes have a great opportunity for leadership, because so many people look up to them. All these kids that want to be playing for the Cavaliers or for the Lakers or for whatever team, the Knicks, you name it. People that are in those positions have these kids' attention, and they can turn them one way or the other. So I think when people like Michael get involved, he has so many fans and people that respect his thoughts. I think he's going to make a difference. He lost his dad to gun violence. His dad was dead and was a John Doe for 3 or 4 days before they realized who he was. That's a really horrible experience to go through. So I'm glad that he's finally got around to the point where he can talk about it and use that experience as part of the explanation and experience that people can understand. That we have some work to do on this issue.
I want to get you out here on this one. You're somebody who can certainly appreciate the idea of a legacy. And tonight, President Obama will take to the lectern, not just to make the case for Hillary Clinton, but also to defend his policies and to look to burnish, perhaps, the last 8 years, his 2 terms as a president. What do you hope to hear from him, and how much are you looking forward to hearing what it is he has to say?
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say, because he's worked so hard, and he's had to do it with one hand tied behind his back, given the fact that the Republican congressional members would not cooperate with anything he wanted to try to get done. Even ideas that they had, that they advocated for, when he said, all right, well, let's try and do that, they're saying, no, we're not going to do that because we don't want you to get any credit for it. I think it was very irresponsible on their part. They're supposed to be acting on behalf of all the citizens of this country. So doing what they did just for political advantage to take a knock at President Obama, I thought really was not a very noble thought on their part, and I think they've let the country down in that respect.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yours is a singular perspective as always, and we very much appreciate you sharing it with us.
Glad to talk to you. Thank you very much for having me.